Hey guys, my name is Alexei Kulishov, and I thought I'd put my presentation together for this recent Westpac experience of mine. It is quite a story, and I'm just really frustrated and quite irritated by Westpac's response. So let's get started. I mean, some of you may not know me, and I've put this presentation to make it super simple that nobody really misses anything. So my name is Alexei Kulishov. I'm an author. I'm a company director. I run a company specializing in sales, marketing, and business growth. It's a national company. I've got offices in Brisbane, Gold Coast, and Melbourne. I've been banking with Westpac for quite some time. In fact, I opened up my first account with them in 1998. I've got dozens of staff, dozens of contractors, and I'm a father of three. I'm a busy guy. If you got kids, you would know. With banks and stuff, you really want this to be working for you. You really need to understand that Westpac is a critical infrastructure for businesses like mine. Anyway, I'm a Westpac shareholder. I bought some shares in Westpac. So you guys from Westpac hopefully are listening and really taking some notes from this, because there's quite a few points that really need your attention. And as you can see, I'm quite a frustrated Westpac customer. So what actually happened? Back in September the 20th, I basically decided to buy a camper trailer. Found one in Marketplace. It's $4,000. It's a nearby seller. In fact, the couple that was selling has just lived 2 streets away from me, and they were banking they were banking with Bendigo Bank. I basically thought it would be a pretty smooth, simple transaction. Got their BSB and account details. Tried to make a transaction, and what happened was I got locked out of my online banking. So this was on Tuesday, the 20th of September, which pretty much means that I've got no access at all. And for those of you who are using Westpac, your personal access is also the access to your business banking as well, which is the case with my setup. Now, on the 21st of September, I tried to basically get through to Westpac, and I wasted an entire day. I try to call them. I try to visit the branch. They can't really help me, and I'll show you a little bit. I try to make this visual about actually what happened. But the entire day was wasted because I was trying to get access. As I was stressing that the 22nd of September was actually that public holiday. It was the Queen's Mooring Day. And the problem was, that was also the payday. So for me not to have access to online banking would result in people not getting paid on time. So that's why I was super stressed to trying to get something done. Now, I basically try to call them. I try to do everything I could. No result. So on the Friday, the 23rd of September, I went to the Caloundra branch because I was actually over Sunshine Coast for a holiday with the family. And look, it's hard to get away. You really treasure those moments. But I had to spend the time to go to the branch, speak to the manager, and the manager, Chris Rayner, by the way, thanks, mate, has been able to resolve my problem by calling Westpac. It's taken him half an hour, but he got through. He explained to him the situation. He verified my ID, and everything was sorted. So Westpac, you've got some good people working for you, but your systems are appalling, and I'll show you in a minute why. Now, everything good and well. I got access, paid everybody else by Friday. People didn't get paid by a day or so. So it doesn't sound like a big deal. Well, it is a big deal for a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people who really rely on money coming in, at the right time. And especially with long weekends, being away, people really need that. And you guys have made it really, really difficult. Anyway, well, let's move on so that, we understand the full picture. On the Monday, the 3rd of October, one of your staff, Yvonne Williams, who apparently is a specialist manager from your customer solutions, tries to give me a call. Well, the 3rd of October is a public holiday in Queensland. And for those of you who run a business, you're probably going to be taking a day off. So I couldn't take that call or anything. I tried to call her back, left a voicemail, nothing. And then we played a bit of phone tag, but I never really got to speak to Yvonne. Anyway, then there's back and forth correspondence. We'll look at this correspondence in a minute because I really think it is a joke. It doesn't really address the problem. And then there's a complete understanding or empathy from Westpac as an organization altogether. Now, on Monday, the 10th of October, this week, some dude by the name of Jeff Payne, who apparently is a customer manager or from customer solutions or whatever, that's his title, checks in to see if I've got access to my account. Well, thanks, mate. It's been however long, not 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And, yesterday, Yvonne sent me another email, and I thought, I'd record a video because it feels like my frustration, the actual reasons why I am frustrated and stressed aren't really coming through. And I know I'm not alone. I'm sure there's dozens of people, if not hundreds of people, that are going through this exact same problem. In fact, when I was at the Caloundra branch, they were there was a couple that was basically having exactly the same problem. They lost access to the online banking. And they were trying to get through. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully, Chris sorted him out. He sounded like a pretty switched on guy. Anyway, so back to the 21st of September, I did a post on Facebook just expressing my frustration because things were like just not good. Westpac is the biggest joke in terms of financial institution, and even more of a joke when it comes to customer service. My online banking gets locked out as I try to do personal transaction. No big deal. I thought I'd contact them via chat to get this resolved. Chat doesn't work because you need to be signed in online, which I lose access to. So that goes out of the window. I call them in the morning. I'm on hold for 20 minutes. And the call drops out. The call system is not working. And this is one thing I'm trying to explain to Yvonne and everybody else I talk to Westpac, and they seem to be ignoring this issue altogether. Okay, so maybe I go to a local branch, which I do. I go to Southbank branch to find a car park. If you've been to Southbank in Brisbane, it's a pretty busy place. And I guess, as you imagine, majority of people would go to Westpac probably around lunchtime. If you work, you've got a little bit of time to go somewhere. So, I find a car park. It's really hard. I find one, no worries. I come to the branch and I see this lovely photo right here. The place is apparently closed from 11:45 to 12:30 p.m. There's no information anywhere on the internet with this information. There's nothing. So how am I supposed to know this as a customer? I haven't been to this branch before. The first thing you do, you Google it up, right? You see the open hours, and in fact, the open hours as the branch trading hours are on Google, but nothing about this closure is there. And I think it's just not acceptable. It's bad enough that you guys are open 9:30 till 4 p.m., which is not convenient for a lot of people. Some people want to do it early in the morning or later in the afternoon. Now you basically shut down branch without a notice and then put this up. Well, anyway, okay, so I circle around, I find another car park because the car park where I was parked was like a 15-minute commercial zone, and luckily running a business, I've got a commercial vehicle. So I explained the situation to one of the staff at the branch, and they recommend that I call the fraud number. Well, we'll call the fraud number in a minute just to make sure you understand the level of frustration as to how it's growing. And the staff member themselves, some sort of a young girl, doesn't wear a badge, not very cooperative at all, and sounds like she's really not willing to do anything for me. Okay, so I go back to the office. I call the number based on the advice, that number, which we'll call shortly, and this number drops out in about 30 minutes. So, okay, I feel that there's like a problem where phone numbers are just being dropped out. So there's an issue with the phone system, and this is one of the key problems that need to be resolved. Now, I'm trying again and again and again, and it feels like the whole thing just drops out after a while. And the wait times are like 40 minutes. So I basically, I can't really, do personal online banking, and that's not a problem. But the business stuff is really what's starting to stress me out because tomorrow is the payday. And luckily, I've got a lot of people on automated pays, but other people I have to pay manually, which is really a big problem. And there's no alternative access to my account. And at the branch, they said they can't really help me. That's the only way to do things. Okay, fine, all right. So Thursday's a payday, super frustrating, and being a Westpac customer for so long, not getting the response, I'm really starting to feel frustrated. So I post this online. I get a few people coming back to me. One person gives me the details of the branch manager at Aspley. I called her up, and luckily she actually got back to me. She's listened to what I had to say and said, "Look, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we can't do anything. You have to call the number. It is what it is. That's how Westpac has set these things up." And I said, "Well, I can't get through to them. The call drops out." And she said, "Look, if you were to come into the branch, I'd be able to sort this out for you by calling them myself and potentially trying to sort of push a few buttons. But because it's after hours, you really got no chance but basically seeing another branch on Friday," which I did. So I'm not very happy about this sort of thing. And these are some of the screenshots from my calls. I've got a wait time on a Wednesday at 3 hours and 27 minutes. This is how long I've been basically been put on hold for with all these prompts and stuff like that. And Thursday, I try to call them, and it's over 40 minutes. And the wait time says, "Hey, wait times are up to 40 minutes." Well, that's bullshit, guys. It's nowhere near that. It doesn't quite work like that. And this is terrible customer service. These things should not be happening. Now, let's have a look at the emails from Westpac. Like what's Yvonne emailed me about this whole matter. So let's see. Okay, so I've got Yvonne Williams in my email, emailed me about the whole thing. So 9 days ago, so obviously a while back, 5th of October. I mean, great that they've decided to respond back to me. And by the way, every time I had an interaction with Westpac, I've launched a complaint. I encourage you guys to do the same thing if you're having a similar experience, because that is the only way to get their attention and do something about it. Unfortunately, we're still going through this, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a positive outcome out of this of some sort, because I really think this needs to change. So, good afternoon, Mr. Kulishov. Firstly, thank you for your complaint and apologies for the inconvenience made for the recording. Standard stuff. For some reason, there's a encrypted letter, which is for some reason comes with this level of secrecy. I don't know why, because it's a really straightforward letter. Our reference, and I refer to your concerns on the 23rd of September. Okay, well, fair enough. You're acknowledging that you've received the problem, and then appreciate the whole thing has been an inconvenience, yada yada. Really standard stuff. Not sure why it's encrypted. Not sure why it's delivered in such a way. What happened next? I've considered the information you provided and conducted my own investigations to ensure we have complete picture of your concerns. We have also taken your specific circumstances into account. As a part of my investigation, I have contacted our fraud team. Okay, well, thanks, Yvonne. Your interaction with the fraud and disputed transaction team will be reviewed, and feedback will be provided to ensure our customers do not have the same experience. Well, that's one of the things I'm trying to do. Bear in mind, by this time, I haven't spoken to the fraud team. I couldn't even freaking get through to them. I did not have any interaction with them. Please know the Westpac Group's educated and training of our employees of the services standards we wish to provide our customers is ongoing. Okay, fair enough. As an additional, I have confirmed with the fraud and disputed team that your internet banking facility is now accessible, and the reason the facility was restricted is due to suspicious transaction on your account that required to be verified. So this is 2 weeks, like 10 days after the whole thing happened. I'm sorry that you had to raise a complaint, and I thank you for your patience while allowing me to review your concerns. Yada, 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 standard stuff. Look, this is a typical trick that corporate organizations play. They get one of the employees to say, I'm sorry, and make this all very personal. Look, I have no hostility, nothing against Yvonne. I don't know who she is. I have a problem with Westpac because they are failing to understand the actual problem. And the problem that I raised them was exactly about their systems. Fix your phone lines, train people, give people access, and we'll go about this in a minute, but there's nothing really about that. Anyway, I get back to Yvonne with a long letter explaining exactly what the problems are, and then Yvonne gets back to me with real standard stuff that she fully understands my frustrations, that I'd like to explain the reason for the block, and she goes on and on and on about the reason why the whole thing gets blocked. I have no issue with the actual blockage in the first place. I want a solution to reinstate access to my account and alternative way to access my business banking. That's what I really, really want. And she's just copied and pasted a whole bunch of stuff, sections of the terms and conditions, and it's quite interesting. Like, she refers to that I have agreed to certain things upon signing up with Westpac, and then there is the whole money laundering effect. Like, she's making it sound like I've agreed to something and this is how it's supposed to be, black and white. Like, very very good way to potentially put me back, but not really a great way to provide customer service. And once again, she says, I apologize for the inconvenience you may have experienced as a result of this matter. Well, the actual blocking of the whole thing is understandable. Your resolution, Westpac, is not. So I try to make this, as simple as I can. I write her a short email two days ago. Yvonne, I don't think you're understanding the situation. The problem is not the block on the account. I understand why it happened. The problem is your resolution of the issue. Staff with no authority to act in this matter. Phone system doesn't align with the issue. So you call the number, and we'll call this in a minute. It's pretty funny. Phone lines aren't working. Fraud department isn't responsive. Failure to provide an alternative solution. Now, on top of the delays in response, it's taking you a while back to get back to me as a professional, critical infrastructure service that you are providing. And I'm being contacted by 2 other people, and there's this guy Jeff who reached out by the time as well. There was another person who rang, but it was just more about, have you guys got your access back and so on. Okay, so that's like 2 weeks after, and then she sends me a response saying, thank you for your email. We received your complaint via the branch on the 23rd of September, and I tried to contact you on the 30th of September. Well, I don't really see that at all in my records. Never come through. 3rd of October, yes, you have. That was a public holiday. And the 6th of October, yep, you tried. I tried to call you back. Never really get a chance to speak. I'm a busy guy. You must be busy as well. But guess who's paying who? This is really irritating, because I think you're failing to understand that I'm the customer here. Thank you for providing further clarification around the issues that you have experienced. As outlined in my resolution email, the bank uses around-the-clock technology to constantly monitor transactions that identify rings. And she goes on and on about the whole, fraudulent activity and so on and so forth. On occasion, genuine transactions get misinterpreted, yada, yada, all that standard stuff. Additionally, I note that 1300 number is the direct line to our scam and fraud teams. I apologize for any confusion caused when calling this number. For future references, if you experience the same, please call the number and select option 5. We'll do that in just a minute. I would also like to thank you for taking the time to provide your feedback regarding the poor experience you had to due to long waiting times with the scam team. Please accept my apology for the delay and the service you experienced. My apologies. Like, Yvonne, I don't need your apology on this. I need Westpac to do something about this. I really need, make sure you guys understand the problem and have a solution in place. We always welcome customers, feedback from our customers, and endeavor to take into consideration the impact it will have on the customer experience when making decisions on the improvement of our products and services. I can confirm that the bank has employed additional staff to assist with reducing the wait times that our customers are experiencing. Well, that's a progress. Westpac aims to provide an efficient and accurate service to all our customers, and we're sorry that our service has fell shortly of your expectation. We aim to make improvements to prevent a reoccurrence of this issue to our customers. Well, I truly hope so. Please be advised that we don't provide compensation on the time spent to resolve account suspension due to suspicious activity. Therefore, we respectfully decline your request to provide an invoice for your time spent. I have requested to send them an invoice for my time spent as a business owner, where I've been really fooled around, told to do things that aren't working. And this is what you'd expect from a professional organization. And the reason for me to do that was years ago, I had a situation with Optus back in 2009. And look, Optus is going through all sorts of things right now, where Optus were connecting my new phone line and running a business. I had to be home for them to do this. And like 4 or 5 times, they basically asked me to be home between 8 hours and 12, 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. I think you've all been through this sort of thing, and no one ever showed up. So I basically wrote them a big letter and included an invoice for my time wasted. And you know what? They've taken some time. I think they've taken about a week and a half or so, and they got back to me saying that they are, sorry, and the whole thing is their fault, and they've given me a credit for $1,200 because they've acknowledged the fact that they had a problem. Westpac on this particular matter is basically just saying that the whole situation is really to do with the suspicious activity side of things, and that they respectfully decline my request to provide an invoice to do any compensation. Look, I'm fine, but as Westpac, like, there should be tons of different ways they should be able to make this up to customers. And look, fine, okay, I'm a business owner, I'm busy, I don't have a cash flow problem, thankfully, but there are a lot of people who rely on access to their account. They really want to get to their money to do things. And if they don't do things on time, they'll be hit with late fees, a lot of inconvenience, stress. And Westpac, you could do things like, I don't know, a gift card. You could do something like reduced fees. You can do so much that you guys, you'd be amazed. But it's all about customer service. If this is the position that you choose, that's fine. But this potentially shows a lack of empathy and understanding of the problem. Once again, because you're talking about the fact that it's all about, it's all about security. It's not about me trying to get access to my account and you being the bottleneck to it. Like, that's just beyond my comprehension here. Mr. Kolshov, I sincerely hope that this apology and explanation will go some way towards resolving this situation for you. My involvement in your matter has now come to an end, and I will not be able to respond any further. Also note that you have been provided an escalation pathways outside of Westpac Group if you choose to do so. If you're not satisfied with our review and findings, we believe that if we missed anything, there are further options available to you. And they basically recommend Australian Financial Complaints Authority, that I have a complaint with, by the way, to basically speak. So that's what Yvonne is recommending. She thinks that the job's done, and once again, she's apologizing herself. There's nothing from Westpac. There's nothing personalized. I really don't get this. And let's have a look at this. Jeff Penn guy, who basically decided to reach out somehow. Jeff on the 10th of October sends me an email saying, thanks for your concerns and yada yada. Do you have access to your account? That's the essence of his email, and nothing since. No calls, nothing. I mean, I try to send him an email. It's taken over 24 hours because he's asking in this email about, when would be the best time to have a chat? Please advise me what days and times would be most suitable for you. Well, I sent him the days, no calls, nothing. And yesterday I sent him another email saying, Jeff, what's going on? It's been a while, nothing since. So that's Westpac, guys. This is the customer service that I'm getting as a business customer with a growing business, with no reps from Westpac trying to reach out to even help me with my business, with my issues, and it's taking so long to get back to me. But let's get back into the presentation, because there's a few extra things that are quite fun. So let's call the Westpac fraud line. So this is the number 1300-364-294. So I'm going to put this on loudspeaker so you guys can hear.
Welcome to the Westpac fraud hotline. We're here to help. For all card fraud, including any online purchases or ATM withdrawals using your card, press 1. If someone has logged into your internet or telephone banking and accessed your accounts, press 2.
No.
For fraud on your Westpac merchant facility, press 3.
No, don't have
For fraud transactions via a check or checkbook, press 4.
No, don't use
Or
that.
if you know the transaction you are reporting is the result of a scam, press 5.
No
to
idea.
hear these options again, press hash.
Okay, well, I've been told by Westpac to press 5. So let's press 5.
If you would like to report a new scam, press 1. To follow up an existing scam case, press 2.
So which one do I press? I got locked out of my account. There's no notifications at that point. There's nothing
to help
else.
direct your call to the right.
And you get this. This is the line you got to call. And then when you call through, it starts telling you about all sorts of schemes that are happening, like relationship schemes, and you start hearing about all these people that have suffered and so on. It is really quite embarrassing for a company like Suncorp to have a system like this addressing, have you been locked out of your account? I think this should be like the number one prompt. So if you're looking to fix this, fix this. So anyway, guys, why this frustration? I feel frustrated, as you can see, and I'm sure hundreds of people, maybe thousands around Australia are feeling frustrated. Looking at Google reviews with branches around me, 2.5 stars. I've picked 3.9 stars, which was supposed to be like the best rated branch, South Bank, and that's my experience with them. I feel like I'm being completely misunderstood by Yvonne or Westpac altogether. They're not understanding the whole thing, that I want them to fix their phone lines. I want them to fix their system to be able to address people. I feel that it's unfair for people like myself to be treated like this. Like, there's a lot of time wasting as a business owner. These things take a lot of time, and you really become a hostage of these processes. You can't do anything. And I feel like there's probably, like I said, hundreds, if not thousands of people experiencing this. And I want to make a difference. I want to make sure that Westpac does something about this. And I want to make this as public as I can, because this is just appalling. One of the top 4 banks in Australia, one of the top ASX 100 companies, a company that I'm a shareholder of, is doing this. Like, as a shareholder, I am most interested for these guys to do this. And if you look at the Westpac's revenue over the last 3 quarters, it's just been declining. Maybe this is one of the key reasons why. So what I want, what do I want? I want Westpac to understand the problems. Please make sure that you look at this video and you understand exactly what the problem is. And if this goes all the way through the CEO, I would really love to get some feedback, because this is a real scenario. This isn't science fiction or anything like that. This is real. I want you to make sure that you understand my constructive feedback that I'm providing. I am not all about being an angry guy. I'm being real constructive, and I'm trying to make you guys understand what the actual issue is, which leads to all this frustration and stress. I want you guys admit to the actual problems. It's not about staff. The fact that your phone systems drop out is probably a bigger problem than having no shortages of staff. I want Westpac to put a necessary action in place, and I want Westpac to compensate those who have suffered. I don't think this is a lot to ask, because you guys have got no idea what this can actually do to a lot of people. So my solutions, I thought I'd be real constructive, and then it's just really simple stuff. Fix your phone systems. No two ways about it. Make it really, really straightforward. There's a company called VoIPline in Melbourne that does PBX systems. They can nut something out for you very, very quickly to make sure the phones are not getting dropped out. You've got all sorts of logical sequences in place. If one line's busy, go somewhere else. Look, I am a business owner. I'm aware of this sort of stuff. If you're going to get an expert, I'm sure they're going to put an expert solution in place. Put relevant prompts in place to assist customers. None of this crap that I just basically went through on the phone, calling your fraud line to basically get my account unlocked. Provide SMS email notifications for account access matters. Make sure that there's an email or an SMS being sent out saying you've been locked out of your account. This is what you need to do. Because the thing that pops up right now on an app when you're trying to log in is you lost your account, call the general number. You call the general number and they say call the fraud line. Calling the fraud line is a joke. So hire extra staff to assist with calls and keep them, at reasonable times. People shouldn't be waiting for 40 minutes to get to their banks. It's not cool. Provide authority to branch managers to resolve issues like that. I mean, back in the days, you'd go to a branch, everything would be sorted. You talk to somebody, they make this happen. I mean, this is really what business banking should be about. I mean, personal banking too. Like this really shouldn't be that complicated. Implement a ticketing system or an online chat for people locked out of their accounts. At the moment, you can't use chat if you lost access to your account. Ticketing system, Zendesk, something like that. Your ticket goes through, at least you get a notification that something is happening and that someone gets back to you, reasonable wait times, alternative contact methods, and so on. Provide better training to customer service reps. What I've received from Yvonne and Jeff and the lady at the branch, South Bank branch with no badge is not cool, guys. This is just appalling. And I think you need to start listening to your customers and their feedback. Read your reviews. Find out exactly what the problem is. This is real stuff, guys. People spend the time to express their frustrations, and you've done nothing about it. And make sure you treat your customers with respect. Personally, I think this whole thing is an intelligent, it's an intelligent, I'm out of words, guys. Like, this is not cool. Like, this is, it's not respectful. It's basically not a way to treat people with intelligence. Like, you can't do that. Like, you have to be able to hear what people are saying, understand, confirm that, and do something about it, not provide crap. And look, guys, I'm trying to be as constructive as I can, but I'm sure I'm not the only one having these sort of issues. If there's anyone experiencing something similar, comment below. Maybe we'll put together a community if we need to provide extra feedback. This is my email as well. Contact me directly. I really, truly hope that Westpac is going to do something about this, because this is just not acceptable. And I think overall, with big companies like this, I don't think that companies like this should treat people when they can't, action simple things, and then people have got no option to potentially be heard or resolve things. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully this has been constructive for you. I mean, I truly do hope that Westpac fixes this stuff. I mean, I am looking for an alternative, but fixing things is one thing, but then changing banks is completely another. It is a nightmare. With thousands of clients, it's not easy. Anyway, guys, comments below if you like this or want to contact me. Here's my details. Have a great day, and I hope that this makes a difference.